We've got 1.5 acres out here north of Santa Fe, New Mexico, overlooking a reservoir. This property is located between Pagosa Springs, Colorado, and Santa Fe, New Mexico. My name is McLaughlin here at Wilco Land. What I'm going to do in this video is cover some common questions, teach you about the property that we have here, help you understand what we're selling, and hopefully you can learn a lot about this property through this video for those of you looking to potentially buy sight unseen or buy without viewing something. So I'll try to break this down for you, make it really digestible, and we'll get started right now. With a quick disclaimer, this isn't legal advice. This is not real estate advice. I'm simply sharing my thoughts and opinions on the property here with you through my 10 plus years experience. So this is what I do. This is my specialty. This is my niche, working with raw vacant land, especially really unique and epic properties like this one. Let's go back to this photo quick. I want to pause on this and show you. This is kind of the property right here. I'll give you a look at the property on satellite imagery as well, so you can understand what the access looks like. That's going to be one big thing I talk about in this video is property access. So let's talk a little bit more about that. This is a really cool area out here next to a bunch of state land, next to a reservoir. I think there's a lot of recreational opportunities out here. This is actually photos of the property. It looks like this is your access road up to the property. This is another like Forest Service road down here. We'll talk a little bit more about access when we look at satellite imagery. So looking at it's a nice piece of dirt overall. Like I said, you're next to a state park, right? El Vado Lake State Park. This is going to be a fun area to recreate for the family on the weekends. You're not going to find anything more affordable out there in the marketplace. That's what we're in the business of doing, offering a lot of affordable real estate for the everyday American. So just kind of showing you some more photos. We're seeing what the roads look like out here. A Jeep, SUV, pickup truck, something like that's going to do you just fine. So I'll let you look through some of these photos on your own. I do have some aerial photos here. When I look at a property like this, I think about the target audience being somebody who wants to set up a private campsite, maybe bring some campers out here or do some yurts, some tiny homes, an off-grid cabin, things of that nature, right? You're not going to invest $1 million into this property, okay? And you're looking for kind of a bug out spot, right? It's over an acre. It's almost 2 acres. Here's Santa Fe, New Mexico, Pagosa Springs, Colorado. I just want to give you a bird's eye view where we're located here on a map. Here's the reservoir in the state park. You've got a little Stonehouse Lodge, RV spot and cafe, right? So, this gives you a feel of the vibe out here. It's a fun place to spend the weekends. Go grab a beer and a burger at the lodge, things like that, right? There are people out here recreating. It is a cool part of the country and really affordable real estate in the state of New Mexico here. Not only do you have this reservoir, but you've got Heron Lake State Park too, okay? So there's a lot of opportunity for recreation in this area. Talking about access on this property, and just looking at some satellite imagery. So use the GPS coordinates to access. All I did to pull this property up on a map was use these coordinates, and it's gonna bring you right down to the property. You can see roads get back there. You're gonna wanna study your access route a little bit. Looks like you come in from the east over here and take this road through Rutherton, and it comes up and around. And that's gonna bring you down on this road right here. That gets you on 322. Looks like County Road 322 is gonna come all the way down. It's going to turn off and in front of the property like that. You can see it here on satellite imagery as well, getting a little bit of a closer look at access. Here's that access road we just looked at on Google Maps, and here's your access driveway right here. You can see it fronts the property actually pretty well. And you're sitting up here perched pretty nicely. There's a nice big open area right here. There's actually some pretty nice open areas in the middle of the property right here for enjoyment. This looks like it too. But you can see this road's been used before in the past. It's a rough road, but there's a lot of people that are going to travel on that, myself included. It's not too bad out here in the desert like that. So again, your driveway comes in off platted access. It is deeded. It is platted access. So if there's any gates, if there's any signs, this property does have legal, insurable, deeded access. Sometimes you see that in these remote areas. If you do come across a chain or a private property sign, just stay within the road, right? We see that a lot in these rural areas. There's not a lot of neighbors out there. They're used to having no neighbors, right? And people want to keep, that's why you own property out here, is to kind of be alone. And so here's a cool property overlooking the reservoir. Here's another off-grid structure from what it looks like. There's some people who have cool little structures on these roads. Maybe they're just campsites, but people are back here using private land investments. It looks like for recreation, camping, some sort of off-grid structures. You might find some yurts out there, some campers, things like that, right? There's development happening out here. A lot of it's probably off-grid development, yurts, campers, and things of that nature. My favorite app for those of you looking to go view the property, I love using Onyx Maps. get the elite version, get private land ownership. All you're doing is plugging in these GPS coordinates. You're zooming in down to the property right here. I've kind of marked the access route right here. So here's the property again. You can see it's mostly flat actually at the end of the day. It sits kind of perched up, so you probably have some pretty nice views from it too. But really a nice gentle property like that. And yeah, the access road comes in off County Road 322. We talked about that earlier. This County Road 322 comes in, and it looks like you can get on this road right here. And you come back around, and you take this road all the way up to right here, and you're going to come up to the property. Right, so here's another property down here that's kind of cool. You can learn a lot from looking at satellite imagery, but essentially you're going to be taking County Road 322, which runs along the west side of the reservoir here, all the way down to the property. Right, here's 322. Looks like you can keep taking it right here, and this is going to come all the way back here, kind of hug the water line right there, and then it looks like you could even veer off potentially earlier. I'm just kind of backtracking here. So this road looks like it jogs down here. You could theoretically probably, come off County Road 322 right here and come up high. Otherwise, you can come around, right, on County Road 322, come back in here, and then back around to kind of the driveway of the property. So that's a lot of what I have to share on the property. This is a really straightforward land investment. We do work with folks on a lot of cash deals. We offer seller financing and things like that. If you want to look at some of our photographers' videos, feel free to click this link. We've got some good videography from our photographer who went out to the property to take a look at the property here. Like I said, we're looking at it there. It's got great tree coverage, mostly flat. You're sitting perched up here with some views. Great part of the country. Really, really affordable, recreational, or off-grid real estate. You can even see if I pause it here, somebody built a pretty darn cool cabin back here. So you're going to see a lot of that. Wood-burning stoves, off-grid, campers, things like that. Yurts are getting really popular as well, along with those tiny homes. So if you want to read more about the listings, take a peek there. It's got really low annual taxes. There's not much holding costs. Like I said, there is deeded platted access. So again, going back to access, which is a lot of questions in these rural areas, you can see the road right here. It's denoted in the plat map. You can see the road that I've got highlighted in blue is right here too. So that's called deeded platted access, meaning that this has all been surveyed out, platted out, so everybody's got access to their properties. We are lot number 8 right here, and you can see that road comes in off that main road we talked about in the blue line. It matches up right with this line that I drew right there. So that's how you get to the property. If you have interest in something like this, you're welcome to go view it on your own. I do have other listings all around the United States. I'll have some more stuff in New Mexico hitting the website pretty soon. But whether you're looking for something in New Mexico or across the western United States, take a peek at the homepage. Give us a call if you have questions. You can reach us here at 605-299-5553. Thanks for tuning in.